Welcome to Fascia Masters Q&A with D&Q, episode 6, Understanding Fascia and Pain.
Hi there, my name is Deanna Hansen. I'm a certified athletic therapist and the founder of Fluid Isometrics and Block Therapy.
And my name is Quinn Castellane. I'm the VP of Block Therapy and the lead block therapist.
So one thing that is an absolute truth, with the exception of anybody that might actually have this disorder, is everybody in the world feels pain. And there is actually a disorder where people don't feel pain. Interesting. Which I think people might think would be a blessing, but it's really not, because pain is the baby crying. It's the language of the cell to give us information that it's requiring attention. And when we understand that pain is really here to help us and guide us and give us information, then it changes our entire view of what pain is in the body. And whether we have chronic long-term pain or we've injured ourselves and we have acute pain, pain hurts. That's the whole point of pain. Exactly. Because if pain felt good, we probably wouldn't create a change. Yes. So there's a reason that pain is here to give us an alarm signal that the area of question is needing attention, because that's really what it is the cells require attention. And what's super cool about block therapy is we teach people to become pain seekers, which is so counterintuitive because the entire world is teaching us that pain is bad, avoid it, mask it. And we also unconsciously, posturally will avoid pain. So for example, if my shoulder's sore in a certain range of motion and I don't want to address it, I'll just unconsciously start moving it differently so I can still do what I want to do in life, but not feel the pain. But that eventually will cause pain to increase, because ultimately we're pushing it deeper into the body. And when pain becomes chronic and it becomes widespread, then we have things like fibromyalgia, or we have other more serious conditions if we ignore those initial signals. So it's really important to understand that pain is our friend. It is not something we want to avoid. It's something we want to embrace, we want to understand. And the biggest thing is that people get caught in a pain-fear cycle. And this is really the bigger issue about pain, is the fear that pain breeds. Because as we know, pain, fear, and stress cause us to reactively hold the breath. So if we feel a pain in the body that we don't understand, it breeds fear. That's going to make us breathe less completely, which is going to starve ourselves even further and cause more pain, which will bring out more fear. So we get caught in this cycle. There's a cycle, So when you take that fear out of the equation by becoming a pain seeker and actively finding, you love this topic, finding the deeper pain. The deeper pain. The pain that we're not consciously aware of. That's right. And that's what we become addicted to, because you understand why it's there. You have a different perception on it. And if we can all understand what pain actually is, and that, as you mentioned, it's a language of our body letting us know that something isn't correct, then you get it. Then you want to look for it. And that's what block therapy is. Essentially, we're looking for pain in our body that we're not consciously aware of. Because right now, to be honest, I don't feel any pain. But if I were to lie on the block or go into a certain movement, I'm gonna feel pain. So when we're feeling pain on the block, then we understand that it's simply just a restriction to blood and oxygen flow. So we're breathing properly, and then you'll literally feel the pain starting to change. Like, that's a crazy experience, because when you're feeling it starting to go away, then you're understanding, okay, yes, the pressure fibers can definitely be overriding, but I love how you talk about the baby crying. So when our cells are under stress and they're not being fed and kept clean, they're gonna notify us of this. So again, if there's a baby crying, then you need to either give it attention, give it love, feed it, clean it, whatever it needs in the moment. Our cells are the same. So that's what we're understanding. And once we get to that point where the pain starts to subside, it's like the baby or our cells are starting to respond in a happier way. It's like, oh, you actually did something for me. This is great. So then your body knows that it's doing the right thing. And when you're experiencing pain consciously on the block, you deep down and intuitively know it's the right thing.
Because it hurts so good.
It sure does.
And that's a saying in the bodybuilding industry, in massage therapy, and everything. It hurts so good.
And that's the thing you mentioned about pain equaling restriction. This is something really important to understand, because we've talked already so much about the fact that fascia under unconscious posture and breath will create compression. That compression blocks blood and oxygen flow. So that's really what we're searching for when we're doing the block, is all of those areas of compression, because compression really is adhesion. It's it's funny, because when we say we're melting fascia, it's not the fascia that's melting, it's the adhesions binding the fascia in that frozen state that are melting, so the fascia can migrate back to proper alignment. So that's what we're looking for. So pain ultimately becomes the roadmap. Ultimately, if we are born healthy and we are properly aligned at birth, it's over time, our lifetime accumulated under the force of gravity and unconscious posture and breathing, that creates how we age, how we grow, how we evolve. And ultimately, pain is what's taking us away from proper alignment. When we choose to use our pain to go back through our tissue, we're pulling out that time from tissue. We're getting to deeper, older injuries, scar tissue that might have happened 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, depending on how old you are when you start this. And that's the beautiful thing, because we want to find those areas and we want to feed those cells properly so that they can rejuvenate and do the job that they're meant to do to keep us moving forward in life in a healthy, creative, awesome way. So that's the really cool thing about block therapy and about understanding pain. So I think the biggest thing to take from this is that pain isn't something to fear. The fear is the problem, because we don't understand pain. But when we do understand pain for the value that it brings to us, also that pressure overrides pain. So people are scared. They look at this, wooden tool, they're already in pain. Sometimes even to the touch, people are point tender. But understanding when you're lying on this tool that you're in control of how much pressure you put on your body. You can do it on a bed, you can do it on a floor, you can adjust your posture, but also more importantly, that within about a minute of being in the process, connecting to your breath, those pressure fibers in the body start kicking in. If you bang yourself, intuitively we rub it. Because we know it feels good. So when we're working on the block, we're connecting to those pressure fibers, so the pain starts to change, and then it becomes again the good pain that we become addicted to. Because it also brings about wonderful side effects. Positive side effects.
Well, and when you come off of the block, you're in a euphoric state.
Absolutely. And the meditative aspect is so important, as well as also how much empowerment it brings to your life. Because if you are suffering from some kind of a pain and you learn how to take care of it on purpose, now you're empowered, and that translates to life as well. So understanding again that order and chaos, when we can use this block to find order with our pain, order with our cells, our posture, that translates again to order in our life. And that's where we have control. And not that we can control life by any stretch, but there are certain things we can control to make life more pleasant and more creative and more abundant for ourselves.
And you know what I love so much about this? You can take it anywhere.
Yes, you can.
It's your therapist, it's your tool. If you're using it for anxiety, for digestion, for chronic pain, for weight loss, for anything, this is a tool you can take anywhere. And that's probably one of the cooler components to it. And being in control of your pain is huge, because you can go somewhere and you can go for a deep tissue massage and it can be intense. And if you're not breathing through that, it's not necessarily going to benefit you as much of you being in control of it. So even one other thing I wanted to mention is you mentioned earlier in this episode about bringing up old injuries. So I actually had a severe ankle fracture where, again, there's probably 7 or 8 fractures on the fibula, 4 fractures on the tibia. It was just not a good look. But this happened when I was 16. I'm 23 now. And just recently, maybe a month ago, I was noticing a shift in my ankles after working a lot around the calves. And Deanna, you were working a lot on my ankle at that time. And literally, some of those symptoms of when my ankle was fractured were starting to resurface. And it was hard, it was painful. It was painful to walk, but just knowing and understanding what was going on took the fear out of it. And then I was retraining and realigning my ankle where it should be. And again, it's not in perfect alignment. We're never gonna be in perfect alignment, but we're just working our way towards perfection.
And I think the biggest thing about pain, and I've had lots of conversations with patients about this over time, it's the fear that we're never gonna get past it. And when we're stuck, that's when life is stuck. And that's when we feel probably the worst. When we're moving, then we feel that we're moving forward, we're making progress. So the healing crisis is when our body is getting rid of the old, the negative, the damaged, the toxic. And we don't necessarily feel good through those periods of time when the body's eliminating all of that stuff because we're experiencing it again. And that's that old stuff coming up. But it has to leave. And primarily through that exhalation is how we take all of that old stuff out of the body to keep it healthy and new. So it's not that we're ever going to be without pain, because if we didn't have pain, we wouldn't have pleasure. And that's two sides of the same coin. So
I like that.
Pain is never going to be gone in our bodies, but when we view it as something that's different, it's a language. It's here to assist us. And most importantly, when we have a process that we can do to treat that pain and to move beyond that, knowing full well though that we're just going to surface older stuff. But with each time we surface old stuff, something beautiful changes, whether it's alignment and the change in our size, or if it's a range of motion, or if it's a better ability to digest, whatever that gift is, it's always going to come.
Love it.
And when we can keep our view on the fact that we're not going to go from 0 to 100 overnight, but when we're on that right path, then life simply is more of that effortless effort that we talked about.
Yes, love it. I think that is a perfect end to this episode. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you want to start changing your body today, just get a little bit more information, go to unblockyourbody.com. You can get your free ebook, but you can also get a free posture video gift for yourself as well. Again, that's unblockyourbody.com. Please use the hashtag AskBlockTherapy. If you guys have any questions for us, we'll be sure to answer them. Make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy this. Comment below if you have any questions that we will directly answer to you, and we will definitely see you next time.
Breathe and believe.